Yo, what is good, everybody, man? Welcome back to another Kids Room podcast episode brought to you by yours truly, man. You know, I've been thinking a lot about goals and mindset lately. Goals and mindset and goals. How does it align, right? Because you can achieve or set so many goals, put it on a sticky note, put it on your wall, write it on your mirror, think about it every day, pray about it. But if your mindset, right? If you're not careful, your mindset can get away from you and have you not even achieve the easiest of things, the easiest of goals, right? Whenever you want to achieve more, whenever you want to heighten yourself, whenever you want to learn more, have more knowledge or anything like that, man, you have to have a certain mindset. A mindset not to quit, a mindset to be consistent, a mindset to focus, a mindset to be disciplined, those type of things, right? And you learn that as you write down the goal and then you imagine it. And then you sleep on it. While you're eating, you're thinking about it. While you pray, you're thinking about it. While you're you know what I'm saying? While you're at work, you're thinking about these goals. But your mindset has to be in alignment with those goals. If you are not in alignment with the goals, then you will not achieve the same goals, right? Most times people want to say they want to make $1 million, but you have to know what type of person you need to be, all the attributes you need to have to become a millionaire to make that $1 million, right? You can't quit your $50,000 job and say that's too hard and assume that making $1 million is going to be easier, right? The first million is going to be difficult, but then after that, that goal of making $1 million, you achieve that, you have the right mindset with that, right? You become focused and disciplined to achieve that goal, then of course that next million is probably going to be a little bit easier, and so on, because as something is difficult at first, when you achieve something and then you start to imagine it, you start to believe that your own being is in that goal, that you start to think, sleep it, and just all the time that you are starting to envision yourself at that moment, right? Doing the thing that you're doing, right? Having the family that you want to have, having the car, having the house, having the job, living the life, living like having that mindset, right? But it all begins with this right here. If this is not aligning with your heart, right? If your heart is not aligned with your mind, these have to be one, right? When it comes to emotions and it comes with spirit, that's something to do with your heart as well, right? You have to have a strong heart, have a strong mindset, have a strong foundation, right? To withstand any of these challenges and tribulations as you get older, as you get into anything in life. We begin to have barriers and certain things that hold us back as we become older, because you start to become more vigilant and aware of certain things that are coming against you. But what about the things that are going for you, right? What about the things that are sticking with you through thick and thin and everything like that? The things that are within inside of you, the things that no one can take away from you. Those are the things, man, that you should set your mindset on, because every goal will be easy after that, right? Um, Short story, just to have a example of how goals and mindset correlate, or how your mindset must be a certain way in order for you to achieve a goal. There was a runner training for a marathon. Every day he set new goals, faster times, longer distances, but he quit halfway through every single time, right? So you set a goal to read a book, you read halfway through that book, you stop, right? You say that you're going to be more vigilant with your diet. You go for 6 months, but then you go 3 months and say, now it's too hard, right? Um, Anything that you want to start and not finish, that does correlate to your mindset, right? But to go on, right? One day his coach said, though, stop setting goals and start setting standards. Goals and standards are two different things. Goals can consistently change, standards never change. Well, I don't say never, but the standard is the standard, right? They should never change. If your standard is to obviously have the best relationships that you can have, then if that's the standard, then your goals should be, I should be more disciplined. I should be able to talk to people more, right? Talk to people better, learn how to navigate my emotions and doing these things, right? So that plays a part in it. The runner had to shift his mindset, though. Instead of trying to run 10 miles, he decided, no matter how I feel, I'm finishing what I start. right? That's going to have you finish every single run. That's what had him finish every single run, right? That's what's going to get you to the marathon. So if your goal is to be at a marathon, your goal is to hit 10 miles, right? That's your goal. But you need to be able to say, boom, this is the goal. I'm running 10 miles. I'm training up to 10 miles. When you get to 5 and you feel like you cannot do it, you need to continue to train at 5 until 5 becomes easy. And then you go to 6. And then you go to 7. And then you might just jump up to 8, right? But it's those times, it's those times whenever you're already beginning to doubt yourself. And might be the moments right before things break out for you, right before things happen for you, right? It doesn't always take you writing something down. Sometimes it takes you actually writing it down and looking at it every day and actually living up to what you're writing down. Don't, because it's going to be in your face, right? I have sticky notes. I write down sticky notes around the house, and I have these things around the house. I don't keep changing out the sticky notes. I've had the same sticky notes for the past 6 or 7 months. Now, yes, I might have to change them every so often, but if I feel as if those things have not been achieved yet, right, they should stay up. Do not quit on those things. And even if you are looking at somebody else do something and then you feel like you should be doing that, hey, if you haven't achieved your first goals, bro, do not be thinking you should be getting interested in other people's things, because they could have achieved the same thing that you're trying to achieve right now, right? They might have already achieved it, and that's why they are getting what they're getting. So don't be so caught up on that, but know your purpose. The purpose is the reason why something was created, right? So if you create goals, then the purpose of those goals is for you to achieve them and to finish them out and then change it up, right? Sometimes goals are going to take longer. Sometimes goals are going to be shorter, but it'll shock you. It'll amaze you whenever you start to write things down and then see it clearly, pray about it, everything like that. And even though you might not be doing things directly correlated to that goal, but there's things that's going to be dancing around that goal that's going to get you to that pinpoint. But God had to take you all around here in order to get to the middle, right? You had to face the storm to get into the eye of the storm, which is usually where the calmest part of the storm is. So in order for you to get to the center of your problems, to the center of your goals, to the center of your purpose, whatever you want to do, man, you have to have a good mindset. You have to know that those two things correlate. And you can't run a full marathon. I'm sorry to say, you're not going to just wake up saying you're going to run a marathon without having to run 5 miles, having to run 10 miles, having to run 50. And I think a marathon is 26 miles or something like that. But you're training that up. You're doing better. You have to train yourself up. It's a mindset thing, right? So if we're so easily distracted and not easily committed, right, to doing these things, then that plays a huge part in your success, a huge part in your purpose, a huge part in your mission or whatever you want to achieve. Be consistent. Be flexible, right? Be the person that you said you were going to be and continue to grow. And as you grow, your goals will change as you achieve those goals, right? Because if you don't take them down, you keep switching them up, your mind is consistently playing between two things. And as the word says, you cannot have two masters, right? You're gonna love one more than the other. So if you have one goal, is to say the next 6 months, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds, and then you do that, and then you go for 3 months, and then you get to 5 pounds gone, and you're like, I'm done. You had a bad day, a bad week or whatever. You start stress eating, you start doing these things. It might set you back. But that 10-pound goal of you losing in 6 months should still be feasible. But because you lose sight of it and you see someone else doing something, you have a bad time, a bad moment. That's why God wants us to go through things so we see those things. You know what I'm saying? You can't not go through something and achieve every goal that you have, right? Because when you achieve those goals, you're never gonna finish them through because you didn't go through anything, right? But when you go through something, you look back and you're like, man, I done went through this pain. I done went through all these things. I'm gonna finish and I'm gonna do what I told myself I'm gonna do all this time ago, all these weeks, years, months ago, whatever the case may be, man. And if this means that this is a call out for you to say that you have a previous goal, a previous dream, a previous vision that you should have been achieving or chasing this whole time and fulfilling that purpose and everything like that, it's never too late to go back to it. You know what I'm saying? Age is just a number, but mindset is forever eternal. It's a forever a thing that cannot be taken away from you. Because as you talk to me, as you see with this, what I'm talking about, you're only talking to a spirit. I'm just a vessel, right? But there's something deeper inside of me that if I don't do the right things and make the right decisions, though, I'm not gonna be able to do as I do now, talk as I talk now, carry myself as I carry myself now, and doing those things like that, man. So, it's very important in life just to know that you have to have a good mindset, right? And have that marathon runner mindset and not a sprinter mindset per se. Not saying sprinters or marathon runners have anything against each other, but if you want to think long term rather than short term and doing things like that, chase a mindset, chase the attributes to becoming who you want to be, and then the goals will easily be feasible for you, and you will achieve everything that you want to achieve in life. Just like that, man. But that's all I got for y'all today, right? I got an ebook out, a devotional book out, man. Check that out. I just created a program book, man, that's gonna be coming out that I want people to start checking out as well, bro. That's gonna be something soon that as things go on, I wish to speak to people whichever way it takes. You know what I'm saying? And if this is one way, if I go to a penitentiary or juvenile facility or a different country or school or, what I'm saying, youth groups, whatever, I just always want to be able to use my voice for something that's good and everything like that, man. So, this is a part of it. And if I don't have a mindset, then the goals will never be achieved and I wouldn't have made it this far as I am now. So I appreciate y'all for always tapping in with me, man. All the love and support. Like, comment, subscribe, man. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.